upload today is still surrounding the matter of women and children's rights, and basically the issue of desertion in marriage, and the issue of legal obstructions that a deserted wife experiences um, in 2020 democratic Ireland. Um, as I keep reiterating throughout all of these uploads, circumstances presented to me since I became a married woman in 2015 and a deserted wife as of 2017, I'm very concerned about the measures and lengths people have gone to facilitate the obstruction of a qualified educator, amongst other things, and a mother being victimized and violated to accommodate such injustice. Um, Now, as I've mentioned, there have been the intrusion of mental health services. Um, this has been unwarranted and unnecessary. And as an individual that is not a mental health patient, is not um, in any consultation with any mental health professional, that has been on two occasions um, unlawfully detained without policies or procedures being adhered to, amongst the other offences that I've experienced without policies and procedures being adhered to. Um, I'm very concerned that in 2020, um, such circumstances would threaten the family unit and the role of women's rights in a democracy. So, as I've mentioned throughout all of these uploads on a day to day basis, these are my experiences. There have been intrusions, there have been violations and inviolability of dwellings, and theft of belongings, and falsification of information, and defamation, and very serious disinformation. Um, the professionals involved that have perpetrated um, very serious negligence, um, defaming my competence, defaming my capabilities, insulting and criticizing without proper policies or procedures being adhered to. It's very serious for any misdiagnosis to be perpetrated or conducted in any matter regarding health or well-being. As a member of the fellowship since 2006 that has worked with others in recovery, it's insulting. As a teacher, as a qualified professional, it's very dangerous for individuals that have no involvement or no position or no engagement with another adult to be in any way assuming, insulting, or defaming a person that they are not engaged with. So, this is what my experience is. On two occasions, only since I've been married, have I ever had the experience of the occurrence of visiting or attending a psychiatric unit. And on both occasions, it was done so without policies or procedures being adhered to, and I wasn't even a patient of any mental health services. So the abuse of positions um, in certain agencies is very serious, and it beggars belief how these circumstances are being tolerated in a European Union country. Um, the ombudsman have been made fully aware of my toil and troubles since becoming a married wife and deserted in 2017. And it has also affected my physical health. My physical health has not been, the matters regarding my physical health have not been acknowledged, but there have been mental health professionals intruding and falsifying and misdiagnosing and discrediting my capabilities in order to accommodate the culprits of human rights violations and constitutional violations, and also accommodating desertion and adultery. So these are the issues and factors of this entire vendetta, and I'm just wondering Have the politicians or authorities any notion of confronting the complaints procedure that I followed through on and that was substantiated and that they still haven't rectified? And I'm just wondering, um, how many more offences and threats to society are going to be facilitated um, when these kind of serious issues are being caused. Um, as a recovery member, a fellowship member, as an educator of the Department of Education, to have these circumstances occurring is serious and worrying and absolutely shocking for any society to be um, hearing about. But this is the reality. And denial and deception, as I've mentioned in my first upload, is um, is not a mature, professional, and rational mentality to avoid all offences that have been perpetrated against me since I became married to a property owner. It's not good enough for any mother to be mistreated. It's not good enough for any wife to be mistreated. And it's not good enough for any law abiding citizen or professional to be mistreated. And the defamation and people saying as they want, what they want, to who they want, wherever they want, about matters that they don't have any full knowledge of is also the serious issue of all of this. And it's blatantly obvious the legal obstruction, why there is a legal obstruction occurring, and why I have experienced financial theft. It's the tactics of hate crime and human rights violations that are so serious in this matter that have just absolutely disrespected the family unit in society. And this experience of professionals intruding and violating privacy um, very regularly and breaching confidentiality and speaking of matters that they have no first hand knowledge of and that they have no engagement or any sort of consultation with another about is very worrying. Um, they speak of delusion, and delusion seems to be a byproduct of this deceptive nature of hate crime that's being perpetrated. Um, the facts of the matter are very well known since 2017, and to deceive is bad enough, but to delude yourself into thinking um, something that isn't actually so is even worse, and the consequences of which and such are so serious. So, the politicians that are aware of my applications, I'd appreciate that they confront this before any further offences are perpetrated against me. Um, as a person that has volunteered in my community and that has worked tirelessly in education and that has worked more um, voluntarily due to the defamation that I've experienced. Um, I am highly insulted and disgusted that this is happening in this day and age. It's absolutely disrespectful to all teaching professionals. It's disrespectful to all in motherhood and marriage, and it's disrespectful to the role of the family unit in society as well. So, when there are professionals abusing their position and intruding and insinuating and criticizing and causing further offence and causing further endangerment as well, I might add, especially with regards to the matter of unlawful detainments and the threats to every person's right to freedom being respected. Um, these are the issues that I am confronted with single handedly, that I have not received supports or services or advocacy for, that I have had to cope with on my own in 2020 Ireland. And what does that say about 2020? What does it say when this is the circumstance for an adult citizen, um, qualified, and that has been defamed and ridiculed and scrutinized by individuals that are guilty of so many vendettas of violations, not just since I gave birth, but back over a decade ago. So, as Einstein said, doing the same thing over might seem like insanity, but hopefully, this effort of sharing on a day to day basis, while others are making false claims and causing further offence, I hope that my message is getting home to Dáil Éireann that this is a very sad sign of the times, and as a Royal Angelic Light worker that's worked tirelessly in recovery and spiritual studies, um, I hope they realise the significance of civil liberties and human rights being so severely disrespected, and especially the institution of marriage and family being so severely defamed and disrespected also. So that's my third and final upload for today. And as regards mental health, and those that have, you know, defamed and violated and endangered, I hope they realize the significance of the effects on women's rights and children's rights in this entire situation that I'm coping with. And as regards the Hippocratic Oath and the obligation of practitioners to prioritize the health of all um, citizens and individuals in their care, then I hope they realize the significance of how withholding my medical care and medical treatment from me, how serious that is as well. So the issue of the violations of privacy, the defamation and misdiagnoses by consultants that have had no proper or legal um, consultation with me throughout the unlawful detainments that I've experienced only since being married. Um, I just hope that this is getting through to people how serious a vendetta this has become. And for a mother of only the past 4 years, I hope the female politicians in Dublin realise how horrible and horrendous this is, and how serious a situation and circumstance this causes, not just for one mother being victimized and violated, but for all involved also. And that's my third and final upload. And I'd appreciate it if there could be some dignity and some integrity and some honesty, if that's possible, um, with regard to the damages that have been done to my livelihood and my well being and my health and my profession, um, with regards to all that has been stolen and damaged in this entire vendetta of hate crime. So, that's my final upload for today. And if Dáil Éireann wouldn't mind, there's complaints uh, lodged with the Ombudsman, at least 4 or 5 agencies, and I'd appreciate it if you'd consult and contact me, please. Pretty serious.